He was the man with the piercing gaze. The kind of actor who could silence a room with nothing more than a look. From London's East End to Hollywood's brightest lights, his journey was not just about acting. It was about transformation, mystery, and leaving behind a legacy that could never be ignored. This is the story of Terence Stamp. Terence Henry Stamp was born in 1938, in Stepney, East London. He was not born into wealth or privilege, but into a world shaped by war and hardship. Yet even as a child, there was something different about him. Those eyes, sharp, searching, unforgettable. They would later become his greatest tool on screen. When he stepped into the world of film for the very first time, he did not stumble in quietly. He arrived with power. His debut role came in Billy Budd in 1962. He played a young sailor, innocent yet powerful, caught in the tides of morality and justice. With his very first performance, Stamp stunned critics and audiences alike. Almost overnight, he earned an Academy Award nomination. Few actors in history have announced themselves so loudly, so clearly, with a single role. But Terence Stamp was no ordinary actor. He did not chase fame, he commanded it. Through the 1960s and 70s, he carved his name into cinema with roles that defined eras, each one carrying that same sense of mystery, that same unforgettable presence. And then came the role that would seal his place in cinematic legend. In 1978, he became General Zod in Superman. With a single phrase, "Kneel before Zod," he delivered one of the most chilling performances in comic book history. It was more than acting. It was presence. It was menace wrapped in elegance, power delivered through silence and precision. Audiences still whisper those lines today, decades after the film's release. But Terence Stamp was never content to be just one thing. He could not be confined by the label of villain, nor boxed into one type of role. In 1994, he took on a character that shocked and moved audiences around the world, Bernadette, in The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Gone was the menace, gone was the commanding general. Instead, he revealed tenderness, humanity, and depth. As Bernadette, Stamp gave voice to dignity, to love, to identity. And once again, he proved what true acting is all about, transformation. And still, he continued to evolve. In The Limey in 1999, he delivered one of the most haunting performances of his career as Wilson, a father seeking justice for his daughter. It was a role that seemed carved out of his very soul, fierce, broken, relentless. A performance that was raw, painful, and unforgettable. For more than 6 decades, Terence Stamp gave the world performances that transcended the screen. He was bold. He was daring. He was endlessly captivating. His career was not built on playing it safe. It was built on taking risks, on embodying characters that challenged expectations, on leaving audiences breathless. And now, as the world remembers him, one truth remains undeniable. Terence Stamp was not just an actor. He was a force. A man whose eyes could command silence, whose words could shape memory, and whose work will echo through time. From Billy Budd to Superman, from Priscilla to The Limey, his story is one of transformation, passion, and legacy. He leaves behind not just films, but moments that remind us why we fall in love with cinema. Terence Stamp lived as an icon, performed as a legend, and will be remembered as a master of his craft. His legacy is eternal. Terence Stamp, 1938 to 2025. A man who spoke volumes, even in silence. Music swells. Screen fades to black. If this story moved you, take a moment to honor a legend. Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know in the comments. Which Terence Stamp performance will you never forget?